The following presentation is brought to you through the meaningful relationships created through NotaryStars.com. Notary Stars is the only notary training platform and resource library offering 150 plus hours of training on every aspect of a signing agent's career, including over 35 different loan products. Oh, and their loan signing agent training is available in both English and Spanish. Members of Notary Stars are definitely dedicated to signing agent excellence, together with partners like the Remote Online Notary Network, which focuses on notaries who are pioneering in remote online notary. Notary Stars strives to give you a safe place to ask questions, get answers, gain confidence in your notary career, and achieve success without over-fabricating the truths about our industry. If you would like to support Notary Stars or the Remote Online Notary Network, please consider liking this video, subscribing to their channels, sharing this video with a colleague, or becoming a member of either site and trusting them to help you achieve the level of success you desire.
Hey, everybody. I hope this really is the best part of your Monday, and welcome to General Mentorship, or as we like to call it, MGM. You know how it is in this industry. We got tons of acronyms we throw around, so we got to do it here too, right? Thank you for joining us for another week of mentorship and community. If you've had a seat at this table before, welcome back. If you're new, we saved a seat just for you. Thanks for being here. We're here every Monday, except for holidays, 5 p.m. Pacific time, so watch for the weekly newsletter that comes in your email. Click the button to add it to your calendar. Our mission at Notary Stars is to give notaries the truth, the tools, and the training needed to succeed. Our comprehensive curriculum covers everything from notary fundamentals to the most complex loan files in both English and Spanish. Thank you very much, Mr. Manuel. You could even join us to explore the latest in remote online notarization processes. Beyond those technical skills, we also provide expert guidance to market your notary business and help you create a strong digital footprint. And that's key to getting seen by potential clients and building a professional business that stands out. If you're a member of the training website, you have access to live training classes every single day of the week and an extensive online video library. Hey, as we get started today, please feel free to raise your virtual hand to ask a question or share an experience. Don't be shy. We're all here to learn and grow together. I think we should probably start with this week's notary moment, and that one's going to be brought to us by Manuel Puga.
Hi everyone. This week's notary moment. This past weekend was when I noticed a notary at a coffee shop. She was very polite and declining to assist an elderly woman in filling out the date on the documents or on her documents. It is essential to remember that this is against our notary ethics and generally best practice to avoid completing forms for customers. This always helps potential issues such as filling out any documents incorrectly, being held responsible, and even worse, facing being called into court. However, any notary can assist their clients by providing items such as a signature guide card, reading glasses, or also arthritis pens, usually called fat pens.
Awesome. Thank you for that tip. That's perfect. Mr. Mickle, go ahead and take it away. Get us started here.
All right. Well, I want to do a little audience check-in first. If you are new to Notary Stars Monday General Mentorship, put a 1 in the chat. Let us know if you're brand new here. We always love to try to welcome new members to the site. So put those in the chat if you're brand new. If you are long-term, been here for a while, put a 2 in the chat. We'd love to say welcome to you as well, and we'll be watching that throughout the evening. So I see we got one new member. Oh, there they go. They're flying off now. People found the chat. While you're putting those in, guys, The last thing that I want to ask you to put in the chat, what you're interested in. What are you looking to hear from this session? We review this and we tailor this session to what you're looking for. Just like when you put out information, or when you, just like when you put in the job form, we tailor these sessions directly to you. Now, continue to drop things in the chat all night. Let us know if you're new. Let us know something about you. Let us know something you need help with. We will review this chat after this session, and we will come back to it, and we'll deliver. Now, I want to bring up a couple of things that have changed at Notary Stars over the weekend and make sure that you guys understand what is happening. We have reached a level of inquiries that merits a change at Notary Stars. Okay. And I'm going to share my screen for this so that you guys can see the evolution. As stakeholders, you really need to know about this. It will only take a minute. But when I say that we've reached a level of inquiries, we literally have dedicated people answering leads, nudging you, saying, hey, you have a lead, trying to get it out to you. Unfortunately, doesn't seem like you guys are responding fast enough. Okay. And that's okay because a lot of you are in the car, you get an email, you're used to text message or apps or different notifications. So we need to evolve to keep up with the level because people are actually turning to Notary Stars. We are 6 months away for going into our 7th year of doing this, being trainers and pulling in customers. But we need to be able to get the leads to you faster. We also need to be able to help you quote the customer. Okay. And that's something that we are going to be partnering with my parent company, Unlimited Ink Notary, in order to help you do. So you might have already started to see orders come out through Unlimited Ink that say, respond with your quote. Okay. It tells you very clearly, if you click yes, you are not following instructions because we actually took out all those bulky instructions for loan signings and it says, hey, you have a quote. That's actually coming from 2 places, Remote Online Notary Network and Notary Stars. If you noticed today, Notary Stars, for the last 5 years, the only thing on our homepage has been training, 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 training. Now I'm going to log out here and go to home, and I just want to make sure you know where everything is. So you'll notice Notary Stars has a new face today. It looks kind of similar, but it's completely different. It is now customer facing. And you'll notice some things along the top here that say notary services. And when we hover over it, you'll see that these get filled in. There's still some pages that we have to get done. We're loading those in. We've been working really hard and we're going to be working through the next week and a half. These are services that the customers are most interested in. Direct notary business, remote online notarization, service for jails and hospitals, things that we've been doing all along. I created a whole different website if you do hospitals and jail services. Don't worry, those have now been integrated into Notary Stars. We're working very hard to get your listings. So if some of you, if you're Googling yourself or your business, might see 2 listings out there, but they're working just the same. You're now going to be able to, at will, put in landing pages, and there's going to be actual training on you how to create a additional landing page for any area that you want. That's coming for all membership levels, even on the basic level, okay? Because not everybody needs to continue loan signing agent training, but you might need to expand your marketing. So that's coming. What we're doing with Notary Stars is actually capturing the divide in the road. You guys come to us for training. The customers appreciate that training, but we're actually capturing it. Now, you're still going to get direct leads. They can still search this directory. But the problem is that we're not responding fast enough. There's only one Tim in Reno. There's only one Kathy. There's only one Carol. There's only one Anna. There's only one Peggy. And you guys are out in the field working, right? The problem is that if you don't answer the lead, they go to the next directory or they go to the next listing and then somebody else misses it. We don't want our Notary Stars missing leads, okay? We don't also want you getting undercut for your value. So we are going to a quoting system for the public facing. It will not change. I'm not becoming some thumbtack. By the way, this website has already been built to operate like Yelp and Thumbtack. I will literally be carried out the office feet first before we start operating that way. Those are very hard sites to work with. I'm not taking your business. In fact, you have no idea how many title and escrow companies come through Notary Stars every week that I wish Unlimited Ink could tackle. Amy actually texted me one time, and I'm going to share this. She goes, "Oh my God, that's a great lead. If they don't want it, we should take it." And I said, "It is a contract with our users. We do not contact the people who come through Notary Stars." Okay? These are you guys' leads. It's a community lead. I make more than enough than I need at Unlimited Ink Notary. Even in bad times, I do really well for myself. This site is about you guys, okay? But what you're going to notice is the customers have the ability to request a quote. That quote will now be sent to you. That quote request will now be sent to you with all the details through a text message, through a signing order. And it will ask you to quote your price for what they're asking for. We will then, and if it's your direct listing, you will still need to be responsible. If they write you and you get that email that says, "Are you available?" or you have a lead, you are still responsible for answering that direct. Okay? Now, for those leads that go unanswered within 2 hours, and if it's an ASAP order, it will actually come to you via text message. Okay? You will be given first option. If you decline it, we are now going to be sending it out to all Notary Stars and those not on Notary Stars to help increase the community. So it is of the greatest importance for you guys to try to service a client, give your best customer service, but a lot of these clients, and we can see every lead that's sent to you, okay? We actually see every lead so that we can nudge you when it's time for you to respond to a lead. And I know a lot of you here have been called or said, "Hey, did you see your lead?" I know Kirsten works on that. I work on that. Handmade used to work on that. We're working really hard to make sure you know about your leads that are coming in. But guys, we've seen an evolution with all of the things that we've been training on. So there was a kaput down part of the signing agent community, loan signing agent community, with the downward turn of the market. That's hopefully coming back. But during this time, all of you learn new skills. We are a different company because of you guys. We are a different company because Laura Beaver did estate planning. We're a different company because Lisa Duffy did fingerprinting. We're a different company because John Nelson teaches apostilles. We're a different company because we all had to band together and learn how to do these things. Now, I do have to do a dotted line to Unlimited Ink Notary so that you guys can see. And I want to share with you guys, now this is our new homepage. If you haven't been there in a while, you'll see it's very similar to Notary Stars because I actually analyze data. What are customers looking for? Now, I teach this in my marketing class, but I have to brag, and I can show you Notary Stars too. It blows Unlimited Ink out of the water. So if you think this is going to be a big deal, I'm going to brag because if you want to do this yourself, I teach this in my marketing class. So this is actually Notary Stars pages. So you can see our interaction with the sites. These are all of your listings, but we can actually go to the performance of the site. I have no problem sharing this. This is how many in just the last 3 months total clicks that come through the site. That's not all you guys. Those are customers. And this is how many impressions that you guys' listings get throughout the country. That's million. 1.6 million. So we have a great opportunity to capture those customers that are looking for you. Okay, and I'm sharing this data with you because you are the stakeholders of Notary Stars. Now, let's just hop over to Unlimited Ink, which is puny compared to this. Now you can see I don't get that. I don't get millions. I get like 500,000 at Unlimited Ink, and I own it. But why is Notary Stars bigger if I own Unlimited Ink? Well, Unlimited Ink is one entity. Together, you guys make millions. I make 500,000. This is sharing the internet real estate space. So when we go to look at the pages, though, you can see that Unlimited Ink actually has more pages than Notary Stars because I teach this, and every single person in my marketing class can do this for themselves. I go back to telling you why we're going to this, okay? We are now at a pivotal moment of a community. We have so many listings on Notary Stars. We've had 10,000 people come through, still people part of a listing, but not enough for people replying to the customers. And so we need to kind of corral that and capture that business. And we also need to make sure that all the training for the last couple of years that you've been investing in, estate planning, fingerprinting, translation and apostilles, if you are marked in your Notary Stars profile properly, you are going to start being displayed. Now, you don't see that on the homepage just yet. You'll notice all the training is gone. Okay. You're about to be brought to the forefront for those specialty trainings that you actually do. And we're also partnering with title companies and paralegals and attorneys to assist the customers, but they have to promote you as well. And this also means signing services. Those signing services that we work with are now going to come to the forefront. We are calling them to action so that as a community, we can all service them together. So this is just the beginning. You saw an evolution over the last 2 or 3 days. This is going to put how much money you make into your control as a community, as each individual person, so that you can work together as a community with apostille translations, all those things. You might think that just because we're asking for a customer intake form here on translations, that you can't, that you won't be able to, but we'll actually be providing all of you that are doing translations. Okay. I sell my own at Unlimited Ink Notary. At this right now, there's just a landing page for that. It's going to be about you guys who do that. Okay. So you're going to see an evolution there. And then the last thing that I want to tell you is that because we are now at this new menu, your Notary Star login is right here. And when you click to log in, we now have a new master login for you. This is where you're going to see everything all at a glance. Your menu now will become the same menu that you're used to. We've got our live training calendar here so that you can always make sure you know where your live training calendar is. Every menu item is the same, except for we now have dashboard navigations right over there at the top. But we thought about you people who are not very tech savvy, okay? So as you scroll down your page, you will still be able to see all of the training that we have just like it was listed on the homepage and still navigate to all of the sections. And as I scroll through this, guys, just take a good look, okay? I'm not even kind of halfway through this page. There is no other training course out there that has all of this training so that you could be as good at your job as you can be, okay? And it doesn't even start with that. We go on to marketing, okay? Now, each membership will eventually have its own login page, what it has access to. Right now, it'll tell you below this line, you must be at this point, upgrade if you want these things, but nobody goes over this much training. So you will have one page that you can just scroll up and down on your phone or on a desktop. We prefer you take your training on a desktop. Will now be available to you. It'll have all of the key points, and there is a little notice there. Bookmark this page so you can take it with you. So if you're on your phone, you can bookmark this page. It's very easy. Just hit that little icon that says bookmark and just call it My Notary Stars dashboard. We're working really hard to make sure that you don't miss out on training at all. But from now on, when you're logged out, Notary Stars will be a customer-facing interface. It is very important that you guys, I love that you guys are sending hearts and chats up. It makes me feel so good because it's very nervous to roll out something new. But I want to tell you guys, we want to bring you all to the forefront. We want to bring those new services that all of us spent so long learning about to the forefront. Now, I know that there's some questions about these with the hands raised in the gallery. We do need to get through that as quickly as possible for any questions about this. So the 3 hands that are raised, if you have questions about the new customer interface or comments, please send them directly to me at contact@notarystars.com. We'll take the 3 hands raised about this, but we have a big mentorship to go over tonight with other things as well. But I'm looking forward to working with every single one of you, whether you're ready or not, for document translations, apostille, remote online notarization. It's time to push the birds out of the nest. 7 years in the making. Let's all fly. All right. Miss Beth, let's go to those hands questions. And then when we're done with Miss Doris, I do want to kick it back to you because we have an important A little, not little thing, it's actually a big thing that we need to talk about because not only is Notary Stars changing, the entire industry is evolving. So we'll come right back to that. If you just got here, hang on because we got big news for you. Let's go ahead and get these three hands really quick, Miss Beth. You're on mute.
I'm sorry, I was being good. Everybody in the chat is showing a lot of excitement about the new rollout of the website. So guys, we've got 222 people on this call. If you're not a member of Notary Stars just yet, you've got to come out and check us out at least. All right, Miss Heather, if you would like to unmute and ask your question, go ahead.
You. So I've got my website set up with all my dynamic pages, and I noticed that on the Search Console, there's the index sites and the non-index sites. I don't understand why there are so many non-index sites, but I did just notice that I have a similar ratio to you, so I'm hoping it means I'm not messing something up.
It does not mean you're messing anything up. So when you create a dynamic website, a huge site like Unlimited Ink Notary or your site, Google is going to parse out how many pages you can get indexed. You're never going to get, I mean, Unlimited Ink is probably 300,000 and I've got 100,000, which is the largest website I've ever built in my life. And it's not even that many pages. It's just because they're dynamic. Google's not going to give you everything you want all at once. Okay, if it was that simple, I'd be so rich right now. I mean, that's just the way that it is. But it's a labor of love. If you see that you have some that are not indexed or indexed, just keep going. Keep building dynamic pages. You're not doing anything wrong. It's if they're not indexing them, that's when you need to ask questions.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that question.
Perfect. Susan Mack, would you like to unmute and ask your question?
It's Return of the Mac. I love her. Okay.
Hey, hi.
Hi.
I am on this really cool website you transformed. Although the curiosity got the best of me and I changed my language to Finnish, and I don't see an English selection to get it back.
So, you're talking about the new translation for Notary Stars?
On the front page when you sign in, and
Yes.
you've got which is so cool.
If you'll notice right up at the top, and those who do translate websites quite often, so what she's talking about is there's now a new translation because we're working with so many international customers. We're doing this with Remote Online Notary Network as well. All of our website will be translated into all of these languages. But if you notice right up here to the top, it'll say Show Original.
I
And
think
so
I just figured that out.
it'll return.
I turned out the translation. Wow, that is so cool.
Yeah. So we are now, because notaries are no longer bound to their service areas, and our customers are coming from all over, and we have so many people who speak different languages. Julie Barish is like one of my most favorite notaries right now. 4 languages. Like if you speak more than 4, I think I'm gonna start running a blue ribbon contest for those who like speak the most languages. And we're working with all these apostilles and international documents. It makes it easier for the customers to read. So we're now available in all languages on Notary Stars and Remote Online Notary Network.
Well, thank you for that. I'm back to English.
All right, thank you.
That's pretty awesome. Miss Doris, I think you are there if you want to unmute and ask your question.
Oops.
You got it.
I think I hit the wrong button.
You got it.
Hi, Beth.
Hi.
Yeah, the question I just have is like on that page, on the Notary Stars page, when you go to the replays, is it going to have the most recent one, like the challenge? You know,
Yes.
when you give us the website challenge, is that on the
So when you
replay?
log in as a notary, the page that you come to is very similar, just a little bit different. You normally go into your old edit listing mode. Now it's going to take you to this page where you can still do all of your edit listing and go to the classic mode, but your general mentorship replays are right here at the top. And as you scroll down, you'll see each section that we have available for you. It will take just a moment to adjust, but it's very designed very well to combine those elements of the old edit listing and the home page that you're used to into one location. Does that help you out, Miss Doris? I think we lost her there. Okay.
I'm going to ask that some of the people in the chat are asking specific questions on how to correct something or change something on their website or on their landing pages. If you have those specific questions and you're a member of Ronnie's marketing class, bring those to class with you on Thursday. We've only got an hour here tonight. We got a lot to cover. Okay.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. And then, by the way, guys, I'm going to make two more announcements. We're going to make these brief. I know that Mr. Sampson and Ms. Keisha have their hands raised. If your question does not pertain to the evolution, and I'm going to lower all hands at the moment. If your hands do not respond to or correspond to the evolution of Notary Stars, again, the evolution of Notary Stars, you could definitely write me, contact@notarystars.com. I am the man behind the changes. Please write me. I will. And when I invite people like this, it takes a while to get back. So write me directly. Anything related to loan documents or general notary work, help at Notary Stars, but contact@notarystars.com comes directly to me. We've got to keep this evening moving. So I just want to make two really brief announcements, and then Beth, we have to talk about this, and we're going to get to as many questions as we can. So number one, we now have a Notary Stars exam. Okay, and we're going to be making it more apparent right now. We've been piloting it with other people. Signing order and Notary Dash both are putting us in the back end for our signing order and Notary Dash exam.
Oh, yay.
Yeah. So we've been working really hard. You should start seeing this between October and January, but we're going to allow you to start taking the certification exam. This is not what we're about. We needed to do this so that you could wave that flag to show that you're a Notary Star and show that you're dedicated to excellence. It does not replace our continuing education. Okay. I've resisted this for 7 years, but I need to get you guys a logo that's easier to get so that you can upload the certificates everywhere you go so that you can show people. And I will tell you that your test is not for the faint of heart. I think that's the first one. I'm going to go ahead and drop this tonight, Miss Beth, because I want to create a buzz and we have such a great audience tonight. So if you guys are not aware, we have a book coming out. And it's written by the entire team. And it is actually not for you. Kinda. Sort of. Maybe. It is actually for title and escrow to better understand our job. But we will need your support, and it will actually help you with your conversations with title and escrow if you read the book. So it is coming out, and I'm going to announce the title now because we already have the copyright. And it will be out by October 31st. And some of you will get early access for October 15th. But it is called The Accidental Notary. Beth is the lead author on the book. Every single one of us here wrote a portion of the book. And it is for title and escrow. And this is going to lead into our next point so well. Title and escrow get guidance for something called ALTA. Does anybody know what ALTA means? I see some head shaking. It's the American Land and Title Association. That's kind of like our National Notary Association. We work really hard behind the scenes to see what ALTA wants so that we can bring it to you guys. Well, they're handing down some changes this year. Ms. Beth, why don't you tell us about what they're handing down and what we need from the Notary Stars community?
Oh, ALTA is one of their topics for their presentation or their standards for this year is compliance and forgery prevention, forgery prevention, loss prevention in the title company, and vetting third-party notaries. So they're really honing in on these seller frauds that are happening just rampant across the country. And they're tightening the screws on how title and escrow interacts with signing services or direct notaries. And they're going to be doing less direct and more with signing services. Unfortunately, that helps them kind of get their arms around the third party issue. The responsibility is going to be lying solely, not 100%, because title's always going to be responsible for who they hire, right? But the signing services are going to be taking a really big chunk of that responsibility for the notaries that they assign to these orders. Having said that, the NNA's SPW Code of Conduct is part of the exam that everybody takes annually to become a certified notary signing agent through the NNA. They are looking at their code of conduct currently. It was originally created and published in 2013. The last edit was 2016. They're editing again, revising the signing professional work group code of conduct for 2026. And yours truly is on that panel to revise that code of conduct. Guys, this is a huge opportunity for you to let your voices be heard. What do you want in the code of conduct? The guiding principles that are in there are being changed. What do you want to see about the guiding principles? What do you want? What changes do you want to see in there? The panel is 8 people. I've got some really good, really awesome panel mates, if that's what you call them. Marcy Tiberio out of New York, and the New York Notary Alliance is one of the persons on the panel. Janae Blatch is on the panel. Samantha Smith, if you know Samantha from formerly the Georgia Notary Network, she's now in Indiana. She's also on the panel. This is your opportunity to let me know what I can take to that discussion. But I don't want you to just send me emails and say, raise our prices. Get them to pay us on time. That's not what the SPW Code of Conduct does. What I want you to do is go to the Code of Conduct, and I'm going to put that in the chat for you.
We got that, Miss Beth.
Pull it and go to those guiding principles. Look at how they're set up, what they address, how they're worded, and let me know what you want to see changed.
And I would like to ask everybody in the audience, I just posted it. Before you post anything in the chat, go there and like that comment. Go there and let us know that you're actually interacting and that you're, I see those lighting up. Thank you guys. Whatever kind of reaction you want to put on there, just go there and like it. There's 3 people so far. We have 225 people. We need to know that you're interested in this. And the thing is that you should be interested in this because you have a moment to actually shape your future. So I want to see 225 people go there and like that. Oh, now they're blowing up. Yeah. Accountability is a thing, right? Miss Beth, I don't want to hijack this, but I do want to tell you why I'm excited about this. Because we see on YouTube make 6 figures, now 7 figures, with no responsibility for the actions that we take in the community. It's easy. Don't take training. Now they're saying, you know what? We want to curb that. You can't walk in and get direct business. You need to go through a signing service. We're actually seeing the American Land and Title Association say you need to go through training. So people like myself, Carol Ray, who owned a signing service and she did training, Kimberly Sennett, who owns a signing service and does their own training, Unlimited Inc. that has a training company and partners with several training companies. There are a lot of signing services that don't want training, but they're starting to learn that just hiring anybody that you pull out of an Uber cab to change their life, which is what a lot of these internet commercials are about. You know, I made $22,000 in whatever time. These are not career notaries. These are people trying to fix a bill. We're career notaries. We know who our community is. Like, you guys are going to be here for the long haul. And I'm actually really excited to see that they're putting more pressure on title to say, you know what? It doesn't matter if they walk in with cookies. They got to know their job. They have to know how to stop fraud. They have to know how to do these things. So this is an evolution of our industry that's happening right now in front of our eyes that you can be a part of. And Beth, because of her work, she gets to be a part of that panel. They came directly to Beth because she's the GOAT, greatest of all time. You know, they came to her to ask her on her expertise to help shape this. So you guys get to whisper in Beth's ear what's the most important. And, you know, I look forward to seeing you guys actually interact with Beth and send information about this. It's so funny, and I'm going to say this. I'm going to unpin myself as we do this because we really got to get some questions answered tonight, Miss Beth. But, you know, it's so funny. We do tests with you guys on social media and you don't even realize it. There's 225 people here tonight. We could post, hey, we have this great training. This is all these things. Very few interactions. Beth posted this weekend. All she heard was, raise our fees, blah, blah, blah. This is actually really important to your future, to the notary future on social media. We could post something like, have you ever forgot your journal? 48 comments. No, I've never done that. Blah, blah, blah. Something dramatic people interact with. Something that requires a little bit of thought, very little interaction. We need to reverse that on this particular topic, guys. This is a way for you to shape your future. I remember when people were asking in Arizona to sign this petition to raise the notary fee. I was actually very vocal and active in that. But it takes a voice of a community to change something. Beth can go in there and tell them whatever she wants to tell them. But she's open to taking our entire community with her. The entire community. So every single one of you, please write Beth at notarystars.com direct. Because she's going to be the one who tallies all this up. But Beth, let them know when they need to get their input by.
Well, it's super important. I have to have my report ready by October 3rd. So September 30th, deadline for any comments you guys want to have me bring to the table. And I can't express how serious this is, how to please at least you take the NNA exam every year if you're a loan signing agent. Half of that exam is the SPW Code of Conduct. You've seen those recommendations for professionalism in that Code of Conduct. Have you ever thought that doesn't sound right to me? Or shouldn't that apply beyond just me? Think about it, guys. Pull that Code of Conduct. Look at just the points. You don't have to read all of the gobbledygook in it. Just look at the guiding principles and decide if there's something in there. Just make one comment on one guiding principle that speaks to you. That's all we ask.
And Miss Beth, I just want to point out to everybody, you're asking for September 30th.
Yeah.
And you're meeting on October 3rd, and the American Land and Title Association meets on October 6th.
Yeah.
To start passing out this guidance. So it's going to go quick on the guidance. So now maybe the National Notary Association will update things, but if this is what they're looking at, what's being passed out this year, this is the biggest issue of the year. And so timely with our book, which we had no idea was going to time perfectly with what the announcement was. the accidental notary coming out, but also is timely with what we're doing with the website. We are now 40 minutes in, Miss Beth. We got to start blowing through some questions here.
And we have a guest.
Oh, you know what? Let's actually take a quick break. Guys, we might go 15 minutes over tonight. We got to get some questions answered.
Yeah.
I know that it's late on the East Coast, but let's get Miss Samantha in. It's Samantha, right?
Yep.
Miss Samantha, she is our resident tax liaison. And she gives you guys the best knowledge. She comes once a month, and I just want to let everybody know I'm going to make you a co-host. I got you pinned. Give me 1 second. Make co-host. There you go. You can now start to unmute. So I want to make this announcement too. So Miss Samantha has been so dedicated to us, actually the most dedicated of anybody that works in Texas for our industry, that we've now made her an official staple. She has been more dedicated than anyone we've ever tried to do this with, and she now gets an official paycheck from us. So your membership dues go to helping pay her be here. Sometimes when we do these little interruptions, people think that the episode is over. We actually bring her in so that you will learn things to help you control your business in a better way. So, Miss Samantha, welcome back. And I know you have a tip for us this week or something that you need to get to us. So let's get right to it.
All right. Sorry, I'm like trying to cover this. Sun just came right through my little peekaboo window. Hi, I'm Samantha, the paperwork and errand lady, but I am actually going through a business name change. I am transferring over to Paperwork People, changing my mentality to be a bigger business, not just myself, but hopefully hiring people in the very near future. So I am the paperwork and errand lady with Paperwork People. We've been going over the pieces of the one big beautiful bill, but I'm going to kind of skip that until next time because we've gone over most of it, and most of what I have left is not until next year. But I wanted to talk to you guys about what do we do when there are tax issues and TAS. Has anybody ever heard of TAS? So the IRS actually has a department within the IRS that has to help you if you have tax issues. And it's called TAS, Taxpayer Advocate Services. There are some very specific rules to get in. It takes a while sometimes, but I wanted to share this with you because unfortunately, because we have that clause about notary income is not subject to self-employment tax, that often leads to letters from the IRS. So how do you deal with those? And that's what I wanted to talk to you a little bit. If you're not in trouble now, hold on to this information because at some point in time, you're probably going to get one of these letters. Maybe it's for the self-employment tax issue, maybe it's for something else, but I want you to know that there are services that are available to you that have to help you, and they are part of the IRS, but they're not really the bad guy IRS guys, they're good guy IRS guys. So I'm going to share my screen if I can. Yes, I did. I'm going to start here. So this is an actual letter from the IRS for a notary. And I'm trying to put you guys on my other screen so I can see what I'm showing you. This is for 2024 IRS Notice CP12, which means there's a mathematical error on your tax return. Except for it's usually the IRS that doesn't know how to do the math, not you or your tax preparer. So on this letter, I just got little bits of it, and these are chunks of different letters that are on here. That's why it looks patchy. But this is the IRS Notice CP12 dated April 28, 2025. We've made a change. That's what they say on page 1. And it says, as a result, your refund is $371. Yay, I have a refund. Except on the tax return, the refund was supposed to be $1487. So the IRS just decided to change it. Here's your letter. We're going to change it. And, you know, if you don't do anything, we're just going to go forward. The second page of this CP12 letter has this little tidbit. This is where they're showing you that there are math errors on your tax return. If you see, this is my calculation, I was the tax preparer. My calculation is saying that the adjusted gross income is 53,000, the taxable income is 25,000, and they should be paying 7,992 in taxes. Over here, the IRS says you made less. My calculations are wrong. They didn't make 53,000, they made 52,000. I said they made 25. The IRS says they make 24. Mind you, the IRS has no receipts. They don't have any proof to back this up. They just somewhere in their head changed something, but we don't really know what it is. And they've reduced the income. However, they've increased the taxes by $1,400. You see that? This is the level of explanation you're going to get in a CP12 letter. So when you take it to your tax preparer and your tax preparer goes, I don't know what the heck they changed, because this is all the information we're getting. What you're seeing is what we see, and then we have to go figure it out. With a notary, it's pretty easy. I usually know it's self-employment tax. So what do you do about this? Well, you can pay your tax preparer, because most tax preparers do not include resolution in their fee. And I will tell you, that may sound awful, but it's a good thing. That's why some of the bigger brands like H&R Block and Liberty and those charge $600 to $1,000 for a tax return that's pretty basic, because they're wrapping insurance in for you that you probably won't need most years. So most of us separate that out. We just charge you to submit the return. We do the tax return. Once we give it to the IRS, our responsibility for that agreement has ended. And then any response to letters is something separate that we're going to charge for. So I often offer, in a case like this, I will start the process with TAS, which is a $100 letter, as opposed to me putting hours and hours and hours in and fighting with the IRS. We try it with TAS first because they're free. So they're taking the refund, and they did take the refund. They gave the $371 in April. And there was a balance of like $1,100 that was still owed to the client. And they just got it in their account last week. So it takes time, but I want you to know it does work. So going back to TAS and who can help you. TAS is the Taxpayer Advocate Service. It's an independent organization within the IRS. Their job is to ensure that taxpayers are treated fairly and that you know your rights and that the laws are being followed. Because I will tell you, I did try to call on this one at least 10 times. I think I was hung up on 5 times after about an hour hold. And then one lady said, yeah, I see the error, but I don't know how to fix it. I don't know how to tell you where to go to somebody to fix it. And then 4 of them were like, no, you're wrong, we're right. Even though I told them what law to look at and they couldn't figure it out. So TAS is there. Again, why would you need TAS if you have a tax preparer? Because this is a free service instead of you having to pay your tax preparer to fight with the IRS. And tax preparers are going to charge you to sit on the phone those 10 calls when they get hung up on and have to call back. So if you can use TAS and it works, that's great. How to access TAS. Very fitting, it is Form 911. Form 911 is what starts this process. You can call them. Most of the time when I have people call TAS, they get denied services for some reason. So if you submit Form 911, they kind of have to give you a call back and start a process. So I always start with this form. There is information in the instructions on Form 911. Anything to do with the IRS, just Google IRS Form 911. It's going to pop right up. The instructions say to send it here. I don't send it there. I send it to a local office instead. Tends to get processed faster. The form says if you don't have a response within 30 days, call them back. They are not honoring this right now. The last one took 120 days to get a call, but it did get resolved within less than a month. So be patient. It's not going to be quick. When to use TAS. I am going to give you the best advice for this. You have to be experiencing financial difficulty for them to take you. What does that mean? I need that refund. I need money to pay my rent. That is a financial difficulty. Or I can't pay you the $6,000 you're now asking me to pay because you want me to pay self-employment tax on money I don't need to pay self-employment tax on. So you need to be very specific in your Form 911 and mention, number one, that there is a financial difficulty. And I use those words exactly in every Form 911 I send. I am having a financial difficulty. The client is having a financial difficulty. If you are facing an immediate threat, so let's say you're getting letters now, you ignored it for a while and now you're getting letters that they're going to garnish wages from your W-2 job, that's something you would want to include to tell them how severe it is and how quickly you need them to help. And then also, if you did not receive a response for the IRS, I would also mention in every Form 911, I tried to figure it out with the IRS. I called them. They won't fix it. I've sent a letter. Nobody's responded. So they want to know that you tried at least first. Maybe that was one phone call and you got hung up on. You don't need to tell them that. You just need to tell them you called and you couldn't fix it. So you called and you couldn't fix it and you're experiencing a financial difficulty, and then Taz has to help. So I told you not to use that contact information in the Form 911 instructions. So where do you send it? You go to the Taxpayer Advocate Contact Us, and there will be a place to put in like what state you're in, and you find the office that's closest to you, and you'll get fax information and email information for the office closest to you. Send over that Form 911, include your response, include the original letter, include any backup you might have to send. I always send like a copy of the law that says we don't need to pay self-employment tax on notary income, and you're going to fax it. I fax it and email it. They don't like you doing that because it's double work for them to process, but whoever's going to get it first, that's where I'm going to send it. So you would send it to that office. Just really quick to look at Form 911. This is what it looks like. I know IRS forms always look crazy. This thing is not that intense. It's your name, your social security number, your address, your phone number. Check here if you consent to receiving encrypted emails. Yes, you do, because they will contact you a lot faster if you will take emails. And then description of the tax issue, description of relief. Always a call to action, right? I want my $1,127.62 plus interest released to me immediately. That is my call to action. And then make sure you sign it. If you are authorizing like a tax preparer to get your information, you can put their information here, but they will need to sign. You can scan and upload it, but it does have to be a wet signature. Don't do digital signatures. And then you're going to send it off like we discussed. That is all I have. I was trying to keep it short and sweet today. If there's any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Miss Samantha, I would love for you to drop your information into the chat. Unfortunately, we can't really do questions on this particular topic.
Got it.
Because we have so many questions that we have to do. Do you mind not sharing your screen there?
I am. Thank you.
There you go.
Oh, that's where did it work?
Yes, we appreciate you so much. Tonight's just a lot of information in one time. If you can make sure that people know how to connect with you in the chat, that would be so appreciated. Guys, I just want to remind you before we move into questions that we have to get to tonight. Okay, so we're going to go a little bit over. Miss Samantha, I just want to let everybody know that you are. I talked to you about this personally, but you are an asset to this community. Okay, you have been an asset to us for about a year now, and we found you through Notary Academy. Always want to make sure that we give credit to where we get our resources. Notary Academy, definitely believe in. Kimberly Sennett is ever as like-minded as we are here on doing things the right way. We connected through the Notary Academy. I said, hey, listen, we would love to have you come in here. You, for a year, for free, came in here, gave us tips, gave us amazing presentations, and we decided to take you guys' investment in Notary Stars and put it towards Samantha to be a regular staple here. So I would love for everybody to show some love for Miss Samantha in the chat, show it on your screen with some emojis, make sure that she feels welcome. taxes are an uncomfortable thing to talk about for anybody, but we have somebody who makes it explainable. And look at all that love going up. Oh my God.
And
I
she
wish I
does
was
it
you
with a
today.
halo on
I
too.
love that. Um, taxes are not fun, and it's not something that we want to talk about, but we have to talk about that. We are business owners. And Miss Samantha, thank you so much for making this explainable and understandable and coming every week to make sure that we don't falter. Please drop your information in the chat so that everybody can connect with you after this. I'm going to ask my team. We need to go over at least 15, maybe 20 minutes. I know that people are on the East Coast are like, oh my God, but you guys write in questions and we got to get to those. We've had so much to cover tonight. Some nights are like this, right? When you own a business, there are opportunities, but we got to get to your questions as well. So I'm going to shut up. And Manuel, I think the first question there is for Miss Beth.
Yes, it is. This question came from Tracy A. How long should I wait at client's home or the sign location when waiting for authorization to ship documents?
Ooh, that's an easy one. You never wait at the signer's home for an authorization to ship documents. Guys, you do the signing, you do your double checks at the table, you leave. You have to scan and upload. You're either doing that at the table or in the car or going back to your office and doing those scans and uploads. If you're waiting for that authorization to drop, don't be waiting at your signer's home. If it's an inconvenient to them, convenience to them, and it might be an hour before you get the authorization to drop, particularly if you're working with unlimited ink. They try to get to those as quickly as they can, but listen, they run a ton of orders through that desk every day, and it might take a minute to review your scans. Just leave if you want to go have lunch close by and wait for the authorization to drop, that's fine too, but don't do it at the signer's home.
Miss Beth, can I chime in on that? And I think you'll agree. When you're at mine and your level, Amy's level, Manuel's level, Kirsten's level, you know you did it right.
Yeah.
So I don't even wait for drop. I just drop. And if it has comes for a second shipping label, it's on me because I didn't do my job properly. So when you're there, when you're like, I can't wait for these people, I got people to service, start dropping. If they need you to correct something and you have to pay for a shipping label, it'll teach you to do your job right.
Yeah, it will.
Now, if you're brand new and you need that review and you don't have a lot of money in your pocket to pay for shipping labels, call the signing service and say, listen, I am parked around the corner. I've let the signers know that if they hear from me that I need to get in touch with them. There are two sides to every coin, right? So, in my experience, I stopped waiting a long time ago. I just headed straight to UPS. I knew that I was going to get dropped. And then the few times that it happened, because even for an experienced notary, you're gonna miss something. Doesn't matter if you double check. So I'll say this, when you're double checking your documents, don't look for ink on the paper, look for the action. There's ink all over the paper or burned in ink on the paper with laser jet. You're gonna see ink everywhere. Your brain is registering that. So just remember to look for the action on the paper that needed to be reviewed while you're doing your double check. People used to ask me when I broke the law and took people to the signing table. Thank God the statutes of limitations have passed on that. Because you're not allowed to do that, and I didn't know it even 15 years ago. I studied that way 20 years ago, then did it 15 years ago. Can't do that. Your brain, if it's looking for ink on the paper, will never see the error that you make. If it's looking for the action that needs to be done on that page, you will find it. And the notaries that I did train out in the field, they go, oh, I think he's just I have two of them that I can bring in one day. They go, I think you're just trying to josh with us and show us that errors can happen. I was like, nope, I make errors too. Let's move on to the next question, Mr. Manuel.
Yes, sir. The next question is for you. This came from Gerardo B. Which CRM system and optimization system is common practice and most useful?
So CRM systems for notaries are absolute, and I'm gonna say this, and we'll have to clip it later. Sorry, Miss Glory, in advance. CRM systems are absolute bullshit for notaries. People trying to sell you them are just trying to cash in on go high level, which you can do yourself. Wix, our websites can act as CRMs, but in our industry, we are the Hershey bar at the checkout counter, right? It's an impulse item. We need it now, we need it yesterday. Following up with a client for most of us is a mute point after 24 hours. They need us tomorrow, they need us today. Most of you will never schedule something out more than 7 days very often. Okay. So a CRM system, which is a client relation management system. Now, if you become a signing service, I'm sorry. I hate to inform all of you. If you're a signing service and you don't close the deal within a day or two, you have lost your client. I don't care what Mark Will says. I don't care what Bill Soroka says, and all of the people who have any kind of CRM for you. If you don't close the deal, you don't have the client. We don't work in an industry where CRM works. Now, document translations, possibly, maybe, but not even. CRMs are developed for people who are trying to retain clients, that are trying to get clients. And I'm sorry, but how many of you have seen a client more than once? Very few. Well, I see Heather, but seen a client more than twice, more than 3 times, more than 5 times. Okay? There are clients that you see that way, but you got the client. They keep coming back. CRMs are meant to bring the client on a customer journey with you, to not lose the client. Most people who did a notarized document need it today or yesterday. We all know this. How many of you see a client that needs something long term? You solidify that client. We just don't have enough of that in our industry to merit getting a CRM system. You either close the deal or you don't in this industry. It's just fact. And I wish that I could tell you something different because I can make money off of you by telling you you need all these things. But I own a multi-million-dollar company and never, ever, ever once needed a CRM system. It is bullshit for this industry. And there's no other way to say it. I know I'm crass at times, but it's just a money grab. And by the way, the whole go high level thing out there that they're doing where they brand it under whatever you're looking, whatever trainer that's branded it, every single one of you can do it. So stop paying $99 a month, which is the maximum go high level allows you to do, to someone else who, by the way, owns your customer data because you buy a seat on their platform. I'm going to leave it at that. We can go to the next question, Mr. Manuel.
The following question came from Rhonda L. And this is for Kirsten. What should one charge for notarizing trust state documents? Legacy is the company reaching out for notary assistance.
Well, that's gonna depend. When it comes to notarizing trust or estate documents, the fees really are going to depend on your state laws. Each state has its own maximum fees, but that's how I look at it. And we really can't fully discuss actual prices if you do a package signing, if you charge that way, because we don't want to be being caught saying that we're talking about price fixing. So where you don't go into the amounts here at Notary Stars, that is something that you would have to research your state statutes and regulations and with the people who are contacting you. So anything to add on that, Ronnie?
Well, when it comes to trust and estate documents, you can definitely charge a package fee because it's all about presentation. So you work with the attorney or the document preparation company in order to set the fee that's reasonable for the client. We are in a competitive market in most major cities, so you have to think that through. So I would start with working at the client that's going to hire you for that and explain to them that you're not just getting the notarization, you're getting the presentation. You're getting the knowledge of walking a signer through those documents. Let them charge them, and then you bill that client. So you're not billing as a notary, you're billing the client to go out to their clients, right? So I work this way. We just got hired by a wonderful company. It's not estate planning, but they do asset recovery. And we worked with them on package pricing based on the packages and how much the attorney's going to make off of this. The attorney, some of them are $500,000. Well, you want a notary that has that kind of insurance, and you're going to have to pay for that. You know, we can send any notary to it, but do you need a well-versed notary? Do you need a well-trained notary? Do you need a notary that can look at a document and not be scared of it? That costs money. And so there's a management fee, and then the notaries are getting paid pretty well for those. And there's actually just a few documents. So you have to charge your value. You have to know your value. And it's not just about charging for notarizations. Sometimes it's an experience that you're charging for. They want you to be their an extension of their desk, represent themselves as you're going to represent them at the table. You're charging for an experience, and that's where you get into package pricing. Okay, it's not just I'm going to notarize a power of attorney around the corner. Some states, charge mileage and all those things, but when you're having the client charge their vendor's fee, you're now not bound to your state laws on that, right? That you have the attorney bill them, and then you bill the attorney, or the company. You bill that company for that experience, and they say, I have a vendor who can notarize your documents, but also walk you through those documents. That's what you need to get in the game of, and that's what signing services do. We don't charge per notarization. We charge for the experience of getting a well-groomed signing agent that's understood all of their training, and we look for the most training, and we're charging for that package experience, right? So you guys can do the same thing. You don't have to be a signing service for that. Thanks for asking me, Kirsten, but we got to blow through some questions. Mr. Manuel, let's keep them going.
All right, sounds good. The next question came from Kara A. This question is for Amy. What are the best run sites to work for and the best title companies?
So I'm going to go on Ronnie's bandwagon here. If you're looking at something that's just going to hand you work, there isn't anything out there. It doesn't matter what RON platform you're on. It doesn't matter what signing service you're on. It doesn't matter what title company you're with. You've got to show that you are an excellent online notary, and you need to market yourself and tell people that you're able to do it. That's how you're going to get business. It isn't about signing up. Like, you can't sign up and just be like DoorDash for online notary. It doesn't work that way. You've got to show your skill set and show your abilities. And once you've highlighted that, you could be on the most random aspect software out there, and people will flock to find you. They did me 4 years ago now. So there isn't an easy answer to that one. It's a matter of hard work, effort, sweat, and marketing.
Thank you, Miss Amy. Mr. Manuel, we're ready for the next question.
All right. Next question is for Mrs. Beth. Right back at you, Mrs. Beth. This question came from Anna L. I will be notarizing a pension fund document for a client currently living in a rehabilitation center here in Tucson on Wednesday. The issue is that this gentleman has no ID. I was advised by the company that assigned this signing that an employee of the facility will provide some sort of ID or a fact sheet, and they can also vouch for his identity. My question is there a particular document that I, as a notary, need to complete in this situation to accept this as a credible witness?
Yes, but let me address one thing really quickly in how Anna posed her question. She said an employee at the facility will provide some sort of ID or fact sheet. So we have to remember that some sort of ID. If it doesn't fall into our state's list of acceptable IDs, we're not going to be able to use that. A fact sheet also doesn't fall into our list of acceptable forms of identification. So if she's going to have somebody at the facility to act as a credible witness, they actually need to know this person to be who they are. Probably their caregiver would be fine, but I know there have been cases of medical fraud where people will take on persons' IDs because they don't have any insurance and they need health care. And they will go into facilities under a fake ID just to get the health care. So my question is, do the people at this facility really know that John Jones is actually John Jones? It's not my job to figure out if they really know him, but if they've only known him a week because he checked in as John Jones, I don't think I would count that as a valuable or a credible witness. But let's just say you got credible witnesses. Yes, please always use a credible witness affidavit if your state allows it. Some states actually have the form as part of their certificates. The rest of us, we have to use a jurat with affiant statement, right? That says this person is taking an oath. This credible person is taking an oath and swearing and affirming that they understand and know this person to be who they say they are. So there's my answer. Go on with the next one, Mr. Manuel.
And Mr. Manuel, this will be the last question for the evening. I wish we could do more, but we went over 12 minutes, and this will be the last question for the evening, and then we'll take it home.
Give me 1 second. All right. Next question is for you, Mr. Ronnie. This came from Anna S. I see a lot of assignments posted for your company and would like to learn how to better present myself or get involved so that I can receive future assignments. I am looking forward to the general mentorship. Thank you in advance.
All right, this is actually probably the perfect question to end tonight's session with. So Unlimited Inc. has for years said, we want Notary Stars, we want Notary Pro, we want Notary Academy, and continuing to grow that list. We used to do a live onboarding every month, but there's a lot of you and only 45 of us. So we decided to move to a virtual onboarding. If you would like to work with Unlimited Inc. or have preference on orders, there is now a virtual onboarding no matter how long you have worked with us. And just so you know, you might want to get used to it because now that we've done it, there's about 7 signing services out there that have said, can you teach me how to do it? And we're in the process of doing that. That number is going to grow because every signing service needs you to be able to work with them properly, right? So we are one of the first that have a new onboarding process. So if you want to work more with Unlimited Inc., you can go to vendors here, and we have our notary vendors page, which you guys are pretty much used to. It has all of our FAQs, all of the support line. We have a new vendors page for you, but right down here at the bottom, click here to start your onboarding, or you can go straight to the onboarding. We do tell you to read the vendors page on that page. You are now able to take a test one time. That test will provide you a quality score. Okay, we are looking for 95% or above. There is no pass or fail on this test. If you want to streamline and you think you can make 95%, I will highly recommend that you watch this hour and 20-minute video. Okay, so there is now an onboarding test to get preference at Unlimited Ink Notary. That test is only 50% on Unlimited Ink's processes and 50% what we need you to know out in the field, the basics. Does not replace training. We service over 450 title companies throughout the country. Okay, so if you are looking to do this, you need to be in a quiet room. It says on the page, you get one shot. There is no comeback from your test score. We've seen everything from 40% to 100%. Most people have not made the 95%. You need to make 95% to be on our top tier list, even if you've worked with us for years, because we're telling you what we need from you. It is not a hard test, and if you make 95% or below, you will be deferred to more training. Okay? You might ask and say, well, 90 is passing. Well, that's high school. We're not in high school. We're doing really important documents. Okay? You're moving hundreds of thousands of dollars around with a stroke of your pen. You're allowing children to leave the country with a stroke of your pen. You're allowing for someone to take control of someone else's finances and life with a stroke of a pen. And you do that through my company. So at my company, I need to make sure that you're at least in the top 95%. If you're not, doesn't mean that we won't work with you. In fact, we've got you. Notary Stars trained you for all of that. That's why all of you are here tonight. I don't worry about those of you that are here, especially the 188 that are still stuck through to the last moment, right here, just waiting. What can I learn? I love you guys, but we have to weed out those people who just think that they're just going to come into the industry and make a quick buck. We can make great money on what we're doing. There's so much money to be made, but there's a lot of legal repercussions if we don't do it the right way. So we got in this. We're in this together. We started this with how can we increase revenue? We're ending it with doing it right, the Notary Stars way. And with that said, I'm going to say it my way. Miss Beth, who's taking us home tonight?
I think it's Manuel.
Is it Kirsten? Kirsten?
Oh,
Yeah,
Kirsten, sorry.
All right. So Kirsten, I'm going to say it my way, and then I want you to take us home. If you are not naked and you are not stuffing your face with a sandwich right now, please turn on those cameras and let's start giving our signature wave to everyone in the Notary Stars community, including those who are going to join us next year or the next following years. And Kirsten, how do we say it really professionally here at Notary Stars?
As notaries, we're not just verifying signatures. We're part of important moments in people's lives. Every document is someone's story, and our role is to protect it with integrity and professionalism. So keep learning, keep growing, keep coming to Notary Stars, and remember, even challenges can help you move forward. Thank you. Have a good night.
Good night, guys.
Wonderful night. Much love to everybody.